Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to an evening episode of MehTV.
And this time we are back with Berserk.
And as I'm sure you can see, I have taken Kevin's inspiration on board with my further edits to the Berserk poster.
Uh, why would you do this?
Why would I not do that? You suggested it.
Uh,
I merely, followed through with the suggestion.
well, anyway, we're all set and ready to go for episode 9,
Yes.
Assassination.
In
In
three,
3,
two, a
2,
one.
1.
Long ago in a distant land, I, the great Griffith, unleashed an unspeakable evil upon the world. But a foolish black swordsman tried to oppose me, using a giant fucking sword.
Hi, Foss. I
Didn't we
really
just
find it.
didn't we just
It's
see
so.
this at the end of the last episode?
Yeah, but keep in mind this is also a weekly airing.
Hmm. True.
So we do have to
At least
kind
it's
of.
at least it's not like reusing whole chunks of stuff between commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Gotta get back to the
There we
past.
go.
Gotta get back to the past. Samurai
I
guts.
wonder I wonder if this would be the theme that triggers when Alex is angry.
So you're picturing this playing over my Super Saiyan transformation sequence?
Mostly just because you're angry at the song itself. You're like, God
my
damn
hair
it.
my hair flies up into the sky, and my widow's peak finally makes me look like Vegeta. It's like, tell me why, tell me why.
I feel like the only time where it came close to seizure procedure territory was literally in the first episode.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
This, on the other hand, is tolerable. Because I know that Scott Frericks ended up talking about this in a creator commentary of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It
Mm.
was in specifically on the episode with the seizure procedure in question. Hello, Bloodhounds.
Wonder if I wonder if our hounds are voiced by Kurt Russell. I wonder if the fox might be voiced by Mickey Rooney.
I highly doubt that.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I like that movie. You know the movie I'm talking about, right?
No.
Oh, The Fox and the Hound. Uh, did we accidentally leave the artist's 5-year-old son's line art in the background?
I guess so.
Excuse me. Because it looks fine from a distance, but then we get into the close-up shots, and it's very clearly like a completely different style to the
Yeah.
yeah, to the rest of the show. It is quite odd seeing this outside of the DCEMU or DCAMU. Fuck it, it doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Guts has such an attitude about this. He's geared up in full armor,
It's no
has his
use.
big has his big old sword on him, and he's
Ooh, shut the fuck up.
They ended up rearranging some of the some of the shots here so that Rickard is next to Guts when Corcus mouths off to
Yeah.
him, as opposed to who being next to
Okay.
Corcus.
Okay, and just zoom out on the
Also,
storyboards.
Rickard is wearing a helmet in this scene, as opposed, but he's not in the actual anime.
Hmm.
Corcus is still a little bitch. Also, one other thing to keep in mind: the 2012 movie trilogy got the armor detailing correct.
Hmm.
As a 97 anime, hey, sure they got not some of the pace. Sure that Sure they did all right with some of the pacing and in the details that were left out, but they went with a more simplistic design for the armor and on the characters.
Hmm.
I guess because it's easier to animate.
Yeah. It's easy to... On the one hand, like, you can tell that they added a lot more detail when they started being able to do things digitally, because you don't have to move things around physically as much, and you can, like, draw at higher resolutions without having to break your wrist, usually, but, there's also a lot of flatness in modern art, things like that. What? Griffith, why do you sound like a tea kettle that's boiling over? Is that perhaps foreshadowing for you, and what you do to everyone? And perhaps, like, the, you know, the boiling of the frog? Even though that is not accurate. Frogs will actually jump out of hot water, because being, cold-blooded creatures, they are extremely, sensitive. Cold water. At the hot water. But,
I feel like that's the scene of them blowing into the leaves was a bit better sounding in the movie trilogy.
Yeah.
Because it actually sounded like they were whistling as opposed to a tea kettle boiling. Oink oink. Jeez. You'd think you'd have that thing cocked and ready beforehand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you maybe might have kind of fucked up your chance here, buddy. Just a little.
Don't worry.
Eh, I'm a little bit worried, because I'd quite like Griffith to die right now. Come on, just right between the ribs. Liver. Spleen.
But yeah, Griffith
Fucking into
doesn't,
the stomach.
unlike in the movies, Griffith does not jump onto the horse to calm it down when he gets onto the side.
You don't want to go through the brain, that'll hurt the princess. Just, you know, oh, pick a vital organ on the body that's gonna be difficult to repair.
Princess.
What's wrong with your face? Why are you taking so fucking long to shoot him? Could you maybe have aimed for something a bit softer than his armor?
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Come on. Die. Die,
Alex, you-
monster. You don't belong in this world. Now picturing Richter Belmont versus Griffith. It's like during the eclipse and he just rocks up. I'm just like, what am I doing here? Guts, what's wrong with your face? Why do you keep looking in the same places? No, see, that's where you made the mistake. He's been dosing himself with that bean for a long time to develop an immunity for just such an occasion. He's been hanging out with the Dread Pirate Roberts, you see.
Funny you make that Princess Bride reference because in the outtakes, Griffith does say it does believe that the arrow is coated with iocane powder.
Uh,
Iocane powder. I bet my life on it.
Oh no. Yeah, a very bad one. No, it's quite the opposite. It's a talisman for evil.
Funny how Guts ends up being the one who says it's like the devil's own luck in the movie trilogy as opposed to Corcus.
Yeah. No, that's a bad idea, Casca. Like, even though I want him to die, you know... Like... Casca. Yeah, that was quite unfortunate. We should find the nearest T-shaped piece of wood and nail him to it. And, like, excuse me while I go summon Tim Minchin.
You know, I find it funny how you're bringing up all this, and people who watch this channel and have no frame of reference to our earlier content before the collab are going to be like, "Why are you getting on Griffith's case, man? It hasn't even happened yet."
People who haven't fucking seen the rest of this show, yeah.
No, as in like people. No, as in people who know are like, "Wait, you're already getting on Griffith's case? Come on, not yet."
He's already a bastard. Yeah, no, I agree. Kill Griffith. Let's cut to the chase. We can get these guys off our case if we slit the white-haired bastard's throat right now.
But
Save
then who's gonna
everybody a
lead?
lot of trouble.
So who's gonna lead if Griffith dies?
Oh, guts!
But but
Or maybe
you real
Casca.
you do realize that Casca does end up leading the Hawks after Griffith gets tortured for a year, right?
Yeah, when he gets put in the fucking Chateau d'If, yeah.
You say that now, but Griffith clearly saw you.
Yeah, excuse me. Well, they say that a hero could save us, but I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Eh. Let's watch those lips sync.
Yeah, there's
Because
still quite a
he stopped talking and they kept going.
yeah, Alex, that keep in mind this is a 2002 dub of an
97
anime
anime, yeah.
of a 97 anime where the mouth movements are very questionably animated at times.
Oh yeah, well, Ava
Because
has the
even
same problems sometimes.
yeah, and even the Japanese version barely syncs up.
This show, this show has some of the same problems as Ava, actually, because it has some of the same focus issues that you see that create that weird double vision effect that is definitely not on purpose.
Dude, the fact that you were nearby, I I already aroused enough suspicion.
Oh, it's that sound effect. Oh, one of those sound effects. The door changed to rectangular in the wide shot. What, your penis? Battle! But does history repeat itself?
Oh, so they cut out Guts's reasoning for why he got into reading books in the first place.
Uh.
Griffith basically got him into reading by pointing out the fact that there's some eroticism inside of him. Yeah,
Guts, there's pornography in this library. Pornography, you say?
fuck it, I'm down. I'm down for reading.
Shit, I'm down. How does this shit work?
I think Guts ends up being better off as a result for getting into reading.
We're the last in line.
Oh, and it turns out that woman that was by that was by Julius's room.
Yeah.
That was a maid that Griffith paid off.
Hmm.
So the way that was so we saw the maid first, but not the context as to why.
Interesting.
It's still interesting that Griffith orders Guts for of all people for a stealth mission. And in the outtakes, Guts just starts laughing evilly. I will never understand why in the manga and this anime that Guts decided to bring his big FU sword or on this mission.
Oh, because he is a big motherfucker with a giant sword.
So this ended up adapting about two and maybe I think a quarter of chapters of manga
Huh.
because as the episode ends a little bit after after or after what is considered chapter 10 on the Read Berserk online thing.
Hmm.
And I believe that content is covered in volume 5 or 6 of the manga.
I'm waiting for this song to end.
So how do you feel about our narrator for this series?
He's pretty good. I just don't like the opening and ending songs much.
Another thing that wasn't adapted it in the 2012 film trilogy. He got this little PTSD thing.
Hmm.
All right, we're on Nobleman. In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some transcendental entity or law? Is it like the hand of God hovering above? At least it is true that man has no control, even over his own will.
I want to break free. I want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied. I don't need you. I want to break free.
I
I
want to break
want
free.
to break
I want to break free
free.
from the song. Why should I feel shame about shape? Can someone explain that to me?
Man, I don't fucking know.
Dun,
Bum,
dun,
bum,
dun,
bum, bum,
dun,
bum,
dun, dun.
bum, 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 bum. Oh,
Bum, 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 bum. Well, whoever he is, he sucks at his fucking job. Don't ever let anybody hire him as a sword fighter, good god. Stand up.
so funnily enough, in both this adaptation and in the 2012 film trilogy, Adonis is voiced by Guts's child actor.
Huh.
So it kind of draws a bit of a direct parallel to Guts himself since he sees all this. He's
Yeah.
reminded of his training of with Gambino. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away,
Meanwhile, at the blank face party. Oh god, everybody's mouths have disappeared. So, Griffith, being that you're drowning in pussy, um,
I don't
why
believe we
you do
get
the
to
things you do?
I don't I don't believe we get to Griffith's little all shindig thing until well after Guts's assassination
Uh,
on Julius. So this scene so these scenes are edited out of order, or though in terms of how it's told in the story. But I have to presume they're trying to imply that this is taking place at the same time. Wonder if that flaming Griffith head that I have in my fire will cheer me up. No, that only makes me angrier.
we are framing Griffith. Alright, flaming Griffith, fuckface.
Hey, I've come to ask you one thing. Do you believe in the word of our Lord Jesus Christ?
Yes, I do. Good. 'Cause you're gonna meet him.
Bullshit that his
Bullshit.
sword was only able to get like a somewhat surface area. That would have cut him clean in
Yeah.
half. That's kind of why I questioned him bringing the giant broadsword even in the manga. Because at least when he had the short sword in the movie trilogy,
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ,
he
kid.
what timing? Fucking hell.
Guts, I think you might have made an even bigger mistake than before. This is, yeah. Hmm.
Why don't you put your damn hood on?
Guts,
And Batman escape. The worst is yet to come.
why didn't you just fucking leave?
So Adonis's face in the manga was obscured by shadow, so Guts didn't see who it was.
Yeah. I
It
recall
kind
you
of
mentioning that. This kind of ruins that.
yeah, that's kind of why the movie version did it a little better. Like, not only did Guts have a more practical weapon for stealth operation, but also oh, but also oh, because he didn't actually see Adonis's face. And yeah, Guts carrying a shorter sword would be much more practical so that people don't recognize him because they know him as
Yeah,
the guy in Griffith's army who wields a giant fuck
yeah.
you sword.
Possibly could have also, like, not shown up wearing his fucking suit. Reused animation no jutsu?
Now we're getting some PTSD. With Zod.
I will find him!
Meanwhile,
The indoor lighting on this is kind of odd, I'd say.
yeah.
You can tell, like, it's not... Okay, yeah, see, from the wide shot, it looks almost a little bit better, but the skin tones are a little bit fucked up, but the eyes are mostly correct.
Asuka, I just lost the last hint of humanity I had left in me. Not a good time to be bitching at me.
Gods, where the fuck have you been? You better not have been committing illegal assassinations.
Also, Casca doesn't notice the arrow wound until Guts is leaving. So that's another thing the movie got accurate that the anime didn't. Oh, you wanted to know something funny, Alex?
What?
Griffith didn't talk to any nobles at the party in the manga.
Oh.
Yeah. To say it's impressive that she's able to make a makeshift bandage out of one of her sleeves
Hmm.
and tie it so neatly. And now for one of the most
It-
poignant speeches in the entirety of Berserk.
Men committing to affairs that will cause bloodshed. You'd know all about that, wouldn't you, buddy? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me
Alex.
no more.
So
Yeah.
in the outtakes, Griffith ends up singing a song on making up lyrics to this theme that's playing.
Hmm.
Trust me, it's hilarious.
Trapped in a cage, spite of my rage, still just a rat in a cage.
Wasn't a reed, that was a fucking leaf.
It's described as a reed even in the manga. I think it's a leaf of a reed.
Hmm. I kind of feel like Yeah, you heartless fucking bastard. See, I kind of feel like they wouldn't see it that way, but, you know. What, I mean, making some money, killing some bastards. Is that not good enough for you?
And that shocks Guts to his core. Because the man he thought trusted him for so long had pretty much said that he was nothing more than a tool.
Living a lie. There's nothing inside. Picturing Guts doing the low tier god. You should kill yourself now, Griffith. Oh no, the little Shota I was supposed to fuck later.
So, interestingly enough, the movie ended up replacing this random maid with Anna,
Hmm.
who is a very loyal to Charlotte. Also, we don't see Casca looking at Guts as he's walking away.
What? Bruh, where would you get this rumor from?
Basically,
Does
he's
men
trying.
are men are filled with desire. Would it also be filled with fire?
Basically, Foss's tactic here is to try to solely pin it on Julius and not just not also us pushing him.
Hmm. Ugh. Oh, you are the weird little bald
I'm here,
gremlin
Mini-Me.
man, so, you know.
Can I get a hug?
Oh no, Griffith has the psycho
I
eyes.
love you.
And they're bigger
You
than your
complete me.
psycho eyes. That means that he wins by rules of rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, let's just say that Griffith is plotting to get some leverage over Foss.
Yeah. Guts, just sneak into Griffith's room at night and just bury that. Bury that whole thing right up his ass. Make sure it comes out the other end.
Good lord.
I don't like Griffith.
I know you don't, but that's mostly because of hindsight. Ugh.
Listen, it's nothing. Frankly, he deserves worse. I just haven't come up
I
with that
know
yet.
that. I know that. I'm just saying. Some people are going to mistakenly assume you read the manga before this, and I'm like, no. He was introduced to this via the movies. He heard my salt mine over the second film's lack of the a bonfire of dreams. Uh, when we get to it in this adaptation, you'll see why I love it so much.
Hmm.
Which thankfully that's in the next disc. So this adaptation seems to adapt at least like 2 and a quarter chapters of manga for each episode.
Interesting.
Except for when they don't bother to adapt certain things. So the 97 anime is a very interesting one. Now back to the unfitting intro.
This is the intro for a show all about the power of friendship.
Not the power of
The
stabbing
power,
Griffith
yeah,
through the heart.
yeah, power of This is what this is the show where like Griffith has a Griffith is the lead singer and bassist for a band, and Guts is the lead guitarist, and Casca's the drummer, and they keep going through rhythm guitarists because Griffith can't fucking sing and he keeps screeching and kicking them in the head.
But 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 Griffith's voice actor is a Broadway singer.
I know, but I'm picturing him being the one singing this.
Oh god.
And this is the song that makes them knuckle down and actually, like, it almost get... They perform this at the school talent show, and, and, you know, they get disqualified in the first round, and this is the one that almost gets them, that almost gets, Griffith kicked out of the band, and he knuckles down to actually learn how to sing, and by the end, and he's, like, actually really good. Pierre Rowe asks, would you rather be in Griffith's party or Diddy's party? Can I take the bullet?
Yeah.
Is the bullet an option? Because, you know, if so... Boom!
Yes, her actual mother, not the current queen.
Red Pill Polema says Diddy Party is wild. I believe you. Heard some, interesting things about what that man does. Griffith Good Man is innocent. Griffith deserves to be strung up from the tallest tree. You know, I have a name, you know.
She doesn't know it. So let's be fair on Charlotte.
True, true. And I'm thinking of forming a band. I'm going to call it Bad Charlotte.
Oh, hello, oh current Queen of Midland with gigantic bust.
No, he's. I mean, he may be quote unquote common, but that man is anything but. You are 16, going on 17. Baby, it's time to think. Better beware, be canny and careful. Baby, you're on the brink.
So that scene of at the end of the previous episode where Guts had his sword raised up, that was anime exclusive.
Hmm.
As is this moment with Corcus. I heard Crash Bandicoot in the crowd.
Wow! Stream's current audio bitrate is lower than expected. Well, that's unfortunate because we're definitely recording audio. We definitely have
Well, remember,
audio.
Alex, we need our entire budget for this battle scene, so we got to use as few frames of animation as possible.
Yeah, let's just pan over the pencil sketches. That'll make everything cheaper.
So yeah, this part of the series in the manga is supposed to be where we first meet Adon Korbelwitz.
Pierre Rose says we can all agree that Farnese is the best written character, right?
Pierre or Alex hasn't read that far in the manga yet.
No, I have not.
I would not recommend he view the 2016-2017 anime to get context on Farnese because
Clang, 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 clang.
that Yes. See,
Yeah.
there's a Don. He looks more imposing here than he did in the previous 2 filler episodes.
So did you know, uh,
Casca's having her time of the month.
need to
Also,
eat, she needs to eat more raw liver.
Casca's helmet in this battle is very different from the helmet she wears just about everywhere else.
Yeah. Now,
Okay, we're at the
fun,
battlefield, so are we gonna animate?
fun
Are we gonna
fact,
animate?
that is that infamous pan clanging sound effect that I also used in, Evangelion Alternative Saga is from Half-Life. Technically, it's not from Half-Life, but it is the same sound effect as the crowbar.
See, look at that. The purple whale's heavy assault, the blue whale heavy assault cavalry knights are actually getting kills.
Hmm.
Kills on the hawks, as opposed to the massive L's that they take usually.
Clap, clap, where pan noise. Yeah. Yeah, that sound effect is the same sound effect as Gordon Freeman's, crowbar. It's just, I believe it's either sped up or slowed down. I can't remember. I figured out which one it was and replicated it using the same sound effect from the, General Series 6000, but, just, did not, did not remember off the top of my head. Didn't
Oh, yeah,
commit it to
Casca
memory.
did.
So this is why
Casca
the
did have
this is why the
that.
U.S. military doesn't let women go out into active combat. That's sexist. I mean, it can be sexist. It is also technically true. Oh yeah, yeah. I I did sort of vaguely reference this. This segment was in the movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I did kind of reference this in X-Men First Class. The
What, a Don's sexism?
yeah, that scene. Well, there was an implication that somebody said that she only got her position because she was sleeping with Griffith, and I kind of, guys in the military are starved. Yeah, yeah, that's why barracks bunnies exist. Yeah, I did reference this when what's his name? Who's that fucking general guy who teleports in and is like, I agree, we should place the
I forget his name as well.
Jericho's Hendry, Colonel Hendry. Yeah, I had him. It was kind of a mild reference to this when he accuses Wonder Woman of sleeping her way to the top.
That was much more brutal in the movie.
Twist love, who that? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Gotta run for higher ground. What can I say? It's my reflection in a new direction again. No, thank you, Dr. Robotnik. Well, I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going, or might be going. Son of a bitch! Kiss my ass!
Funnily enough, we've made a reference to this a couple of times, but there was an interview that Mike Pollock was in with the c- with the group Brain Scratch Commentaries,
Yeah.
and he ended up pointing out that he got his start in voice acting through hentai,
Yeah, him and Dan Green both.
and they were both, and the members of the Brain Scratch crew were all like, "Our childhood."
Yeah. Do y'all read manga? If so, what's your favorite manga? If not, then I presume to be anime only. My favorite
Fullmetal
manga
Alchemist is
is
Fullmetal Alchemist
between.
is my favorite anime and manga.
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite anime and manga is between Death Note and Full Metal Alchemist. Um, Dragon Ball Z being a close second, and or third, depending on my mood. Well, Dragon Ball, manga, all being one big thing. Dragon Ball Z anime, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. Um, then after that, I like One Piece. As far as the manga goes, as far as the anime goes, I prefer the live-action show because the live-action show cuts out a lot of the bullshit. Like there was that one. There was that one segment of the where they have to rescue Luffy after he got thrown into the water, and frankly, that went on for way too fucking long in both the anime and the manga. Hi, Goku.
That was about
Trying
as
to.
depressing it. That was about as depressing as that one time I watched $1 Million Baby. It was really disappointing. Look, I get that movie's depressing too, but there's no need to faint over it. That was a reference to the abridgment. Motherfucker.
God damn it. God damn it, Eggman! But yeah, Dan Green developed his yummy voice by doing all kinds of, well, I sometimes refer to Yami as Dami Yami because Yami Yugi was the voice that he used when he was playing dumb characters. Whenever he was being really assertive, that's the voice that the voice director would make him use. Sort of smooth and deep, with a bit of an aggressive growl to it every now and again. Meanwhile, regular Yugi was the voice he'd use when he was playing subby Shota characters. Yeah, no, I'm not fucking kidding.
Oh, I know you aren't.
And Dan Green in like you can find this stuff, but Dan Green was also in Angel Blade, which is available on Blu-ray, I
And
believe.
now Guts is going to attempt to resuscitate Casca.
He uses, I believe, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but he uses the Yami voice for this big Santa Claus looking motherfucker. It sounds quite fitting.
He barely has to resuscitate her.
I don't want anybody else. Guts, why do you look like a completely different motherfucker right now?
Not sure. Also, it was his right side that got pierced by the arrow, and the
Yee.
only prescription is more cowbell.
I thought they just did a really bad cut to daytime there for a second.
Yeah. And now Guts is
Guts is looking more and more like an 80s protagonist and less like himself.
I mean, he is an 80s
No,
protagonist.
I understand that, but he's also got some giant fucking yaoi hands that make him look like he was drawn by Kota Hirano. Oh yeah, Hellsing. Hellsing's really good. Well,
Oh,
Ultimate.
and also Kosk. Ooh. We got the finding out that she's on her that she's menstruating was a little more graphic in the manga and the movies.
Yeah, I can fucking... There's blood fucking everywhere. Literally.
So that's came before Griffith or this scene, in as opposed to how it was ordered in the movie. Because the movie had the scenes ordered correctly as in the manga's pacing.
Just picturing that exchange from from Cooler's Revenge. Like they're both probably dead. All right, where's the body? Bitch! I mean, I'm not going to believe that anybody's dead until I see a fucking body. Because guess what? I'm fucking savvy as shit, man.
You know, never before have I ever seen a man so pissed off to be holding a naked woman in his arms. He looks even more grumpy in the manga. He's got a straight up pouty face, too.
Oh, that's an interesting but boring place to end the episode.
Well, we're actually going to get at Casca's backstory in this adaptation as opposed to when they cut it out in the movie
Oh
trilogy.
yeah, we're seeing a lot of backstory here.
Yeah, it's the backstory that does also help to strengthen the narrative, where I feel like the movie's strength is more in the action.
Hmm. Yeah, the movies did a
Like there
really good job of presenting the action, I'd say.
like this does a good job in establishing the backstories and whatnot, but it doesn't but it kind of falls apart with the action.
Rosario plus Vampires manga was also really good. The anime was alright. It got better, and then they canceled the fucking show. Another one I'd say is, so, Ouran High School Host Club was a really good fucking show. It's just a shame that they ended it before they actually finished the fucking adaptation.
Yeah.
Still worth watching, but and much like with Rosario plus Vampire, the fandom goes nuts every couple of years over fake leaks of the announcement of a new season, and then everybody realizes, oh yeah, it's never coming back. Vampire
Yeah.
Knight Vampire Knight was a show that was much better than the actual manga, because the manga was boring as shit. At least the first... Like, comparing the first episode to the first chapter of the manga is like night and day, because the first chapter of the manga is tedious. Sorry, you were saying something?
I find it weird or the amount of chapters that the OLM anime chooses to adapt from the manga as opposed to a number of other anime. Because you know how, like, One Piece's early anime was adapting at least one to two, was at least adapting two chapters at a time, right?
Yeah.
So they
That
ended up,
made for some interesting things, but it also made for... I don't know, I have issues with the way One Piece is paced in the early stages, both
yeah, yeah, and especially, and it gets worse later on when they only like adapt three
one
quarters of a
yeah,
chapter.
I was gonna say one to less than one chapter a fucking a fucking episode, yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
you know how
painful at times.
what's also painful
Excuse me.
was the way that Bleach was adapted by Studio Puro, where they like adapt like five to however many chapters of manga per episode, which ends up making for a more massive problem, which is the fact that Puro tries to justify this with massive amounts of filler.
Yeah. I don't think anything can really beat out Naruto for filler. Flashbacks inside of flashbacks.
Yeah, most of Naruto's anime is filler. Or Bleach's filler is at least half of the '04 anime, but it's
Mm-hmm.
non-existent in the Thousand Year Blood War anime.
At least the Bleach
Oh, and
filler
also,
was interesting. They came up with things. They came up with new stuff rather than just padding things out with flashbacks and.
so in the manga, Casca was covered by a bunch of leaves as opposed to there being a convenient blanket for her.
I think that's supposed to be Guts' cape, but yeah,
I know, I get that, but still. Well, I don't think that would be practical to put on her or when she's, having a fever, and that thing was soaked.
yeah. Oh wow, that's titties. Are you showing those to me on purpose, or are you just not really paying attention?
Oh,
I'm
motherfucker.
okay. Okay. Oh, that's titties. That is actually titties. God, God damn it, woman.
So there was a funny bit in Berserk Abridged where when Guts gets punched in the face by Casca, he's like, "Hey, hey, no time for foreplay now. Besides, I already took care of my needs last night. No thanks to you and your menstruating vagina." And then we get that sequence and sped up with yakety sax playing in the background.
Boruto is literally 70% filler. I have not read or watched Boruto.
It is. It
I
is.
believe it though, because there was that
Boruto is a
whole
month. Boruto is a monthly manga paced like a shonen manga in terms of storytelling.
So have you seen that time travel episode of the Boruto anime, or at least you've heard of it?
It's actually a couple episodes long, and basically Sasuke and Boruto end up going back in time
It's yeah.
thanks to a Otsutsuki, and
It
that Otsutsuki ends up trying to capture
yeah.
Naruto at a young
It's
age so that he could
it's
get
filler.
Kurama's. That's power. Yeah, it is filler because it doesn't appear in Ikemono's manga.
God damn it, woman! If you keep rubbing that fit black ass against my crotch, I'm not going to be able to contain this any longer.
Casca's skin tone in terms of how she looks is wildly inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like in the manga, there are times where she looks like she's either just slightly she's either a slightly darker shade in terms of skin color, or she is full on black. It was destroyed every so often by border or wars instead of a mecha Streisand.
What about Super Giga Mecha Nesbit? Super Giga Mecha Nesbit. Oh wow, oh oh wow. Oh wow, oh, oh.
So in case you're wondering where I ended up getting that bit from, let's just say the Berserk abridged version of this, which is only like 5 minutes long, is very interesting.
Hmm. I wonder how many edits he made.
Well, keep in mind this was like early abridgment, so they couldn't and really,
Oh
do the
yeah, no.
whole wizardry that Scott Frericks ends up doing.
No, yeah, I'm not. I'm more thinking about like uh awful MS Paint editing.
Yeah, yeah, and at first her parents thought that they were sending her over for maid services, but then it turned out he wanted her for her more womanly services.
Hmm.
Yeah, not subtle in the slightest. We don't even get to see we don't even see him actually rip off her cloak. Oh, so we just transition to her top being to her dress being torn.
Oh, that's titties. The only person who's been chosen by God around these parts is me. I'm going to bring a lot of murder to this world.
So in the manga and in the second film, Griffith cuts this nobleman's ear off.
Hmm. Yeah. They're basically, like, kind of, defend yourself. Oh, I can get the implication of what happened here. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just been gone.
Now I've gone and thrown it all away.
Yeah. I mean, death is preferable to dishonor.
And Casca, as we've seen later down the line, ends up being dishonored.
Mm. By a certain white-haired bastard.
Oh. So in the Berserk abridgment, when Guts ends up hearing about Casca's story, or he ends up recounting his own story as if to say, "Yeah, you can take your victimhood and shove it up your ass."
Mm. You nearly got raped. I actually got raped.
Yep. Casca narrowly avoids getting molested on a multitude of occasions in this series.
I wonder how things would change if instead of giving Guts a big fucking sword, if he was given a Colt Python 357 Magnum instead.
What would he have done with that as a kid?
Um, well, very similarly, massively jarred his wrists.
Okay. The Escaflowne cosplayers.
Yeah. And then and then uh and then when whenever or whenever something bad that is going to go on during a certain astronomical yeah, during a certain
Something.
yeah, during a thing where a big object passes in front of a bigger object, Guts would just simply draw his big fucking gun and blow Griffith's goddamn head off. Well, one tin soldier did not ride away from this. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio. But his name's not Yorick. His name was Jeff.
By the way,
Where
this kid,
did the knight action figure go in the wide shot, Griffith? Did you eat it?
we actually
Did
got,
you eat it
we
when the
actually got,
camera cut?
we actually got a few panels with the kid who it expressing interest in Griffith, its army before his untimely demise. He's in the
Hmm.
manga, not in the
Hmm.
anime. And here Griffith actually chooses to let himself be done by that guy. And he soaks himself in a
Oh,
river.
Griffith is a fucking prostitute.
Yeah. And at that point in the abridgment, Guts asks, "Is there anybody in Berserk who isn't a prostitute?" To which Casca's like, "I guess this is a bad time to bring up Pippin's night job at the
Yeah.
massage
No.
parlor."
Yeah, now the guy who fucked Griffith, he did him from behind so that he could maintain the illusion. And okay. Casca, shut the fuck up.
"'Cause I'm just a girl who can't say no, can't seem to say it
Say it
at
at
all.
all.
I always say, 'Come on, let's
Let's
go,'
go.
just when I ought to
Even
say
say stop.
stop. When a fella wants to kiss a girl, I know she ought to give his face a slap.
Slap.
And if fella starts a kissing me, I
I
kinda
kinda
sorta
sorta
wanna kiss
wanna
him
kiss him
back.
back.
But who can't
Can't
say
say
no?
no.
Can't seem
Can't
to say
seem to
it
say
at
it at
all.
all.
I can't say no.
No.
For the record, that was actually what Kevin T. Collins sang
In the,
when
yeah.
in the outtakes. He sang Oklahoma.
Which... Griffith, where did your nipples go? Did that man steal them? Did you sell them
Nobody
to
in
him for money?
Nobody in Berserk aside from the females are consistently drawn with nipples.
Yeah, that's strange. I've noticed in Bleach occasionally, actually. And like the wide shots, the dudes don't have nipples or, hair. Like chest hair. And then it zooms in and it's like chest hair, pubic hair, nipples. And there's some other, shonen
Yeah,
series that are like that.
oh yeah, there's a character in Bleach that has his pubes on full display.
Yeah.
Is it a rock car?
Yeah.
You haven't seen him yet.
I've seen that image. Bruh. Bruv. Bruh, if you feel this bad about it, just go and kill him. Look, take your sword and do to his chest what he did to your butt last night.
Let's just say that he
Unless
needs.
of course he's a power bottom and he made you do him.
Here's the thing, Alex. Griffith actually needs Genon alive for now,
Oh, that's
because
unfortunate.
otherwise, because he needs someone to fund his campaign. And by the time he joined Midland, he decided, you know what, Genon's gonna die. Hey, he's no longer useful to me.
Have you guys seen Wholesome Old Man Reads Berserk video? Oh, dude actually handled it like a champ. I have not.
Oh, I've heard of that guy.
Hi,
He's good.
hi Guts. Where did your nipples go? Did you sell them for money like Griffith did? Well, in my dreams, it's still the same. My love is strong and still remains. Hmm. Excuse me.
So essentially,
Well, I am feeling a little bit reckless. Turning to Gale Force speeds.
Asuka, let me tell you this. You being on top of me is awakening something in me.
Because I was the only Pokemon who knew how to say something other than his name. We are under orders from... Pardon, allow me to adopt my best French accent. We are under orders from Lord Coulier to find their bot... This is the same fucking thing. This is the same fucking thing. This is literally the cat... This is literally where Goku and Gohan hid in the fucking movie. I was making a joke, but it's this same fucking place, isn't it?
So, the movie they leave at around dusk as opposed to nightfall.
Hmm.
Which kind of raises the implication that the 100 Man in battle, all that we'll be seeing in the next 2 episodes, lasted a lot longer in the movie as opposed to the anime where we actually got to see more of it.
Hmm.
I mean, hell, Guts even says in the manga, as soon as the sun sets. For those wondering, yes, I'm reading the manga as we're watching this. Because this is supposedly the most accurate to the manga.
The elf ears bother me. It's like how
Yep.
Superman has elf ears in Superman in the DCAU.
Well, Justice League, not Superman the Animated Series.
Or yeah, Justice League mostly.
Oh, Casca. You know, one good thing that's going to be happening in this weekend is Bleach Friday,
Oh.
or not Friday, Saturday, because the 1,000 Year Blood War or arc is being adapted, or
Hmm.
the 1,000 Year Blood War or arc's third core or is currently airing.
This song is going to haunt my fucking dreams. Tune your goddamn guitar.
Don't worry, Alex. We only got 12 more episodes left of this.
Good, that means what? Two more sessions after this?
We were gonna finish this in It's in the next session.
No, I mean, finish the... I was saying, like, finish the disc, but yeah. Like, the fucking grin on his face while he's looking over at the... This is a battle... This is the show about a battle shonen and where everybody goes to a sword fighting academy together. Griffith is the snooty
Prepared for
upperclassman and who's a little bit of a bitch.
So yeah, it is straight up nightfall. Well, in the anime,
Hmm.
whereas as I said, that it was about dusk in the movie, and suns and around dusk in the manga too. Of course, people will be like, "Oh, but how can you tell when it's not colored?" The dialogue tells me.
Alright.
Okay, Casca, let me tell you this. Is you better bust out your broomstick so we could fly away. Guts, women can't fly on broomsticks. But you just said
You're, you're being a massive bitch right now. Oh, I just exchanged the B with the W and assumed that you were a witch.
the funny thing is that
Now
in
people will see how
the
broken the Royal Guard are.
in the abridged
That's what
series,
Realist Metal said.
just look at you.
Ugh!
No endurance. You anger too easily, and you're always menstruating. Spit. That was also in
Yeah,
the outtakes.
I can see... I can see that Guts has figured out what motivates her.
The worst part is, even though he's being a jerk, he's saying exactly what she needs to hear.
Mm-hmm. Hey, bitch. Stop being a bitch and come on, let's get this bitch. What? Yeah, you heard me, bitch. Let's bitch up this bitch's bitch. Guts, you're not making any fucking sense right now. Oh, is it motivating you to keep going? Kinda. Well, then, oh, this bitch is working. Oh. You're just saying bitch every other word for keep me going. Bitch, I might be.
I'm always keeping a vigilant eye for anything.
Constant vigilance!
And that is actually how the 100-man battle initially starts in the manga.
Yeah, I only have one volume of the manga, and I believe... Yeah, it's in the other room right now, underneath,
So this is taking
stack of movies.
the volume in which this is taking place in is volume 7.
Hmm. That is one I do not have.
That's in the deluxe volume 3.
Interesting. Oh. So you've upgraded your armor, but you haven't actually bothered to put a fucking helmet on after I broke it last time, so, maybe...
His over half of his teeth are missing.
I'm going to rebuild my mouth using your teeth. And if they're not large enough to put back in my mouth, I'll just carve your bones into things that'll chew. Alright. Well, Is this foreshadowing what happens to Griffith?
I don't know.
Oh. You've been threatening to do that for like a while now. Oh, the vampire teeth are coming out.
The movie actually got a comedic moment accurate right in this fight. Because Guts did actually tell them, I'd advise against that plan. She'll bite something off, and she just bonks him on his helmet. She's like, douchebag.
Oh, hey, that
Don't be
thing that Shad's always complaining about didn't happen. Actually fighting from the goddamn clinch.
They really like to drag out frames just to recreate panels from the manga at times. I'm like, yeah, she did slit him at the wrist in case you were curious.
Ah. So fun fact, that's not actually how... Okay, so fun fact, you know where all of this blood splatter or stuff is inspired by?
What?
Okay, so there was a film by Akira Kurosawa. I don't remember the name of the film, but he had this blood effect set up. It was supposed to be, you know, like a little once the
So
sword
this guy
slash happened.
So this guy is supposed to be a Don Korbowitz's brother, but he never makes an appearance in the Battle of Doldree.
Hmm.
So
And completely taciturn. Yes. I know how this goes. But yeah, the blood splatter thing was inspired by a Kurosawa film. The blood hydraulic malfunctioned and just sprayed blood everywhere. It was supposed to be like a slow, steady pump out. Oh, but instead it was like a big, you go, like it gushed everywhere. And everybody has been doing the blood gush on Sword Slash ever since.
watch this. Ooh, that was brutal. These frames of animation are keeping him under control, Casca. Flee while you can.
He may in fact not be risking his weapon. And he is protecting you, but I was gonna say, hey, he may in fact not actually be risking his weapon.
I like how Guts says these things with utmost confidence.
Yeah.
Like, even if he may be uncertain of him coming out of this alive, he is going to act like he's surviving all of this. Oh,
Boom shakalaka.
See, that would cause a blood fountain.
Oh yeah.
Big giant sword or cleaves right through his head.
Get that pretty little ass of yours moving on out of here.
Asuka, Asuka, I understand the sentiment, but you are literally holding me back right now. Ah, damn. He left
Oh
his
god damn
arrow-proof long-sleeve shirt at the cleaners.
it. You calling me dumb? Do I look
Calling
like
me-
Forrest Gump to you?
Do I look retarded?
Well, maybe. You certainly act retarded. Is that a... I was gonna say, is that a sexual innuendo?
You forget that he said that Casca said that she wanted to be Griffith's sword.
I think you might have the metaphor mixed up there, Guts. She's the one with the vagina.
He ditches the helmet. That is also a double-page spread in the manga.
Hmm. God, that can't be good for your throat.
What?
The way he was screaming like that. How many people does Sean Schimmel voice in this? Because he's a member of the band The Hawk, and he's also a member of this guy's crew, isn't he?
He's a lot of characters in this show.
They all sound the fucking same.
And this is why we value the NYAV LA post dub for the Golden Age arc films, because they actually had a lot more people to work with.
Because, like,
We get...
and I'm not necessarily blaming Sean about this, but, like, there's barely any difference between the voices he uses. And I know he's capable of doing other voices. I've seen some of his other work.
The thing is that, but let's also not forget that a number of these characters are going to be dead soon.
Yes, sir, soon to be dead in this movie.
Because in the...
I only know every now and again Chris Sabat shows up in different shows as like, or in Dragon Ball voicing like random characters, or is either using the Yamcha voice or the Piccolo voice, and it sounds exactly the fucking same, and it's like, oh. Now his head is wider than it was.
I liked how Guts was just like, you know what? If you guys are gonna fuck around like this, why don't I just leave?
Now, the more you're gonna fuck around, the more you're gonna find out. And, Guts sure loves distributing information.
No, nope, I'm not gonna make a little Karibo reference. No, no, because it would be very distasteful of me to do that.
It's raping time.
Yeah, that was what I was going for. Ugh, I hate
It's
how
raping
accurate.
time. Oh, not
I hate,
again. How many more of you fuckers do I have to kill before you get the message that rape's off the menu, boys?
oh, in the manga, she actually kicked that guy's teeth in.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna think about that.
Yeah, Casca is a strong mamma jamma. God damn it.
You should have pulled out. You should have pulled out the fucking Neo dodges. This was the 90s after all.
This came out before The Matrix. You forgot that, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Yeah. Well, you know, I will tell you my secret. I am not left-handed.
Guts, you aren't supposed to be able to wield your sword with both hands. You're supposed to be fighting with one hand at this point.
Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move,
Ooh!
and then you'll hear my heart burst again. For you see, this is the end.
This looked way more the way her attempt at trying to escape these guys there was way more dynamic in the manga.
Rape's back on the menu, boys.
And Sean Schemmel will be the one attempting assault here.
Yeah, doing the Super Saiyan 4 voice.
I don't even think Funimation was at the at GT. You know they weren't. They were still. I think they were still either in the middle of the Cell Saga, or the Boo Saga.
Let me see here. This is 2002, right?
Yes, 2002 is when this was recorded.
GT. Listen, don't
And
use
yeah,
don't use a knife on that. You'll ruin a set of perfectly good titties.
that is the most they expose in the manga because the movie they they they, they tear that off. Huh? Oh bullshit!
Huh. Yeah, Dragon Ball GT did not start airing until 2003 in the United States.
Yeah, so they were still in the middle of the Boo Saga.
And Stephanie Nadolny would have been voicing Goku at that point in time.
All right, I'm gonna get the next disc in, and
Let's see here. Super Saiyan 4.
So give me a
Goku
second.
begins his fight with Frieza and Cell. Are you sure about that?
Alrighty. Now I just gotta wait for my thing to boot up. All right, so we are on episode 14, Bonfire of Dreams. Are you ready?
No.
Let me know when you are.
Oh, this is the Okay.
I told you. I told you it was the end of the disc.
Yeah. No, I know it's the end of the disc. I'm just looking here.
Bonfire of Dreams is the first
Because
episode of disc
Discotech
2.
put, credits down at the end. Here.
Yep, that sounds like them.
Where they've got credits for, the original version and the dub. Although it unfortunately, all in English, by the way. Unfortunately, it does have the, shitty ending, shitty opening theme, rather. Alright. Disc 2. 3, 2, 1.
You know, sometimes they have sometimes the uh sometimes Rift Tracks has this thing where they where they have the robot, let's say certain things to make sure that the people who are watching at home are in sync with the with the current point in time.
Yeah?
So that's kind of why I end up quoting bits of the episode whenever when at times. Let's also not forget that in the movie version, they actually use bolas to restrain her legs.
Hmm. Yes, because legs are potent weapons as well.
So it's interesting how in the manga, she does not attempt to try to knee this guy in the crotch
Mm-hmm.
because after all, the groin is a part of the armor, part of the body that is not usually armored. You know, sometimes the worst part is I don't even understand and the choice in lyrics. It really feels like this band and ended up just learning English and decided, let's just make a song with random bits in English.
Yeah, and I already brought up the, the fucking weird ass Italian song.
Gemel had botched up his line in an outtake and was just like, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
In the abridgment at the start of this episode, Casca asked the guy, "Why are you a fan of Nick Fury?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, he's a badass. Why?" And she's like, "Oh, no reason." Oh,
Yeah. Or, but the opposite.
Jesus! In the other eye.
See, I'd have at least pulled the arrow out of my hand by now, because that's a bad place to have that,
The
you
issue
know?
is that the issue is there isn't a time or place to get that out, and it's kind of hard to get it out with that armor.
We already broke it. I just go, oh, you know, reach up and bite one end out. Oh,
What am I doing
you know.
here? What are any of us doing here? My God. Ow. That really
Why are we
hurts.
here?
Anyway, a, where was I? Oh, yeah. The meaning of life. My guts. What is the meaning of death? Hey, one of your tits is hanging out, Casca.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
Before I make it in my pants. That was an actual outtake from Carrie. You can tell how often I've watched those if I can quote them by memory.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh my.
Agatha, dead, 100 men.
Yep, that's an iconic panel. Well adapted.
Mm-hmm.
Guts!
Stop
Guts!
shaking me.
Guts! Dun 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 dun. Bum bum bum.
Orcus, stop being a bitch. Bullshit. I'll be there to the end. Even have to kill you. Do it now. Yes, Mark Drayson does a Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Rickard, wait till you're older. I've killed plenty of people. Oh, Judo. Oh, that's not it. You're not mature enough to understand it. I've seen Casca's titties before. Rickard, have you majored in women's studies?
Have you perhaps gotten a minor in pain?
What's women's studies? Oh, dear. Aw, he does care about Casca.
No, it's weed.
Actually, that is that is the elf. That's the elf dust from Puck.
Oh.
And here's the thing: removing him from this adaptation kind of induces a bit of a plot hole.
Yeah.
And yes, this is actually how they explain Ingut's recovering after a 100-man battle. And we'll be seeing this in the Memorial Edition when we get to it.
Indeed.
Trust me, the Memorial Edition does a number of scenes justice. As that was sadly not to be excluded from the movies because WB wanted to be WB. Hmm. Even in Japan, they're prone to bad business decisions.
So, what are you doing out here?
You know, just hanging out with my sword out. No, I'm not talking about my dick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because truth be told, that thing is massive. The
Which
dick,
one?
not the sword. Right,
Yeah,
the sword's
yeah.
also pretty big.
Yeah, my dick makes the sword look really small.
That's unfortunately true.
Yeah, every muscle in
Sure.
his body would be burning the fuck up right now. Plus, you know, possible infection.
Yeah. So it was smart of Guts to come up here as opposed to staying down there. And suddenly he's without bandages. Is when he's completely without bandages, even though he had more to remove. Why does Casca look like she has a duck face?
Eh.
Oh, there's some derpy face.
I was gonna say dirt face guts right there. The B team animate that wide shot or something.
Holy fucking shit. Fucking dinosaur. Jesus Christ. Ow! Ow!
Yeah, I call bullshit on that one. Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Well, that's nice of him. Oh. By the way, that smack on the ass that Guts did to Casca in the manga was a bit more exaggerated and comical. Like, she was far more startled. Shut up! Hear me now, and it'll bleed you later. I'll crush you with my muscles. Run
I
to the
wonder if that.
chopper.
I wonder if this inspired the Schwarzenegger impression that Sean Schemmel wound up using in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, so now that we've gotten through, so how did you feel about that version of the Bonfire of Dreams?
I think it's pretty good.
Now, now you can see now you can see why I had such a massive salt mine when we got to that part.
Yeah.
I've waited years, literal years for that. We're still waiting so long for a good adaptation of this series that will actually try to cover things accurately.
Oh, that's never gonna happen in our lifetimes.
No,
It's gonna
especially,
take some serious shit to get this done.
and to think I actually thought Adi Shankar would be the perfect person to do that, but now I realize, yeah, no.
Shankar is gonna fuck it up if he actually gets his hands on it. That Devil May
So now
Cry show looks like ass. And granted, Shankar is not responsible for the Castlevania show being ass entirely, but it...
I mean, I
Oh
can
boy, we'll
understand.
get to that.
It's interesting that they at least got a Devil May Cry voice actor to play Dante. Just, it's not Ruben.
Well, it could be worse. They could have done what the fucking... what the third Resident Evil animated movie did, and gotten a guy who sounds completely fucking unsuited to the role nowadays. Not that his voice is unsuited to the role, it's just... What? Not that it was suited and became unsuited, more that they changed Chris so much between when he played Chris last and now that his voice just doesn't fit the character anymore. How many episodes are we doing tonight?
Just these, just the just two, just this one and the next one.
Okay. This almost sounds like the opening chords of Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow at the start, and then it goes completely off the fucking rails.
Yeah.
The acoustic guitar is in tune, but that poor electric is being abused. Like every now and again I find an electric guitar at a thrift store that's been strung up so high that when I pick it up it feels like the neck's gonna snap. That's what this reminds me of. No, I don't want to. I
So,
want this song to end, but you have resolutely refused to do that, so, you know.
decisive battle. So now we're finally at Doldry. Which, by the way, the establishing shot of Doldry of the a Fortress Doldry, that shot right there, that's a double page spread.
Cool.
Oh, when we get to watching the outtakes, Alex, you're gonna see one of the lines that would later, or in hindsight, poorly age Sean Schemmel. Oh, outtakes?
Does he say that he's not a beta cuck?
No.
Oh.
Let me type out what he said, as because I would get banned on here. Hi, Boscone. Which I believe this is actually supposed to be our proper introduction to General Boscone.
Oh. 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 He made a similar joke in the Dragon Ball Z outtakes that came out a few years ago.
Yep, the audio leaks.
Yeah.
Oh, and in the abridgment, when they got to the War Council scene, in and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, let's hear you recite the entire history of the 100 Years' War." Recite the entire history? Okay then. By the end of this recital of the history, he quoted the ending to Cowboy Bebop,
See a
and the
space cowboy?
gunman. No, he said, and the gunman said, and bang, and fell lifeless to the stairs. What did that have to do with anything? I don't know. It was just a really cool scene.
It was. Uh, 'Tis quite the shame Cowboy Bebop didn't continue.
But we understand why it wouldn't have. Three of its main characters are either or dead in Spike's case, or just gone in
I mean, hypothetically, Spike could have survived that, and I believe they had, if they'd gotten the funds for another season, they would have found a way to make him
Alex.
survive. But
Alex, you remember what happened to the last series that got funded solely by Adult Swim, right?
yeah, yeah,
I'm not talking about Big O.
yeah, fully
I'm
coolly.
talking yeah, Fooly Cooly.
What's that? Let me raise my eyebrows even harder. Why does his audio have a weird filter over it? Or perhaps he's recording using a shittier microphone, or he's further away. Regardless, that sounded very odd.
I kind of prefer Christopher Corey Smith's voice as the King of Midland.
Hmm. Is it just me, or is the quality of the dub gone down?
What do you mean?
Oh, like the delivery sounds a bit more stilted. Places.
Well, let's not forget that we're working with that we're working with people who were just more established as here,
Yeah.
here as opposed to who are recurring people.
Now the writing sounds really weird. Such and the like of which... This is like, what?
I love this.
Don't lose your head. Don't lose. No, don't lose your head.
I I swear, Guts would be an exceptional gambler. He'd just walk away with all the loot. He'd be like, "Eh, whatever. I got money." They'd be like, "How the fuck did you do that?" Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, yeah, Don escapes from that incursion as opposed to the movies where he ends up falling unconscious and is used by the Hawks. Oh, and Alex, in the manga, we have a close up of Boscone's face that
Hmm.
expresses utmost disappointment. Whoosh. Genon's hair color is either or black as in the manga or white in the movies. Let's watch those lips sync.
Bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum. Wow, wow, ba dum bum bum wow.
Yes, it was intentional for me to go tone deaf there, or as though to be a foil to Alex's softer tone. Also, the Band of the Hawks establishment here in the manga is a double page spread.
Yeah, I believe it. Double page spreads are the equivalent of going with an ultra wide angle lens. Comics and manga.
And yet people will say that Bleach is bad just because, oh, double page spreads means less is happening. I'm like,
I mean, that depends on what you're talking about. If every other fucking page is one, sure.
and that's not the case with the Bleach manga.
Eh.
I've
We're not
read
talking
it.
about we're not talking about like a Liefeld production or something, you know, like a or one of
Rob
those
Life Rob
double pages
Liefeld
you have
made
to
a
turn on the side. Yeah.
Rob Liefeld made a cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
He's a man who can't draw feet. And yeah, definitely TJ Storm is definitely better as Boscone. Storm voices Boscone in the movies.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
One of my favorite jokes in the abridgment was one where Griffith had attempted to cover up his Hoye tendencies towards guts in the series. He's by saying he wanted guts in his army. Whereas Genon on his on asks, I want him. And they're like in your army? No, I want him stripped naked and strapped to a bed. Do I need to draw you a friggin' picture? First formation is supposed to be the Vanguard. Also, Boscone's declaration of his men charging in battle, that's also a double page spread. Oh god! And Guts mowing down the enemies is another double page spread.
Hmm.
A lot of these in this is part of the series.
That is some purple cape.
I mean, they are the Purple Rhino Knights.
I am the Rhino.
multiple double page spreads in this battle.
And that voice sounds kind of strained.
Yeah. As much as I love this show's dub, there are parts that seem a little strained. And Mike Centerniclass did try to direct these people as best as possible. And keep in mind, a number of these people also are primarily theater actors, not voice actors. I know a lot of voice actors get their start in theater, but not a lot of
Yeah, you
the
have
voice
to.
act.
You almost have to relearn how to act from theater, because theater is such a. It demands such a loud presence, so to speak.
Yeah. At the very least, when Boscone ordered that barrage of arrows to fall upon the Hawks in the movie, it made more sense for Genon to get paranoid.
Excuse me.
Would you believe me if I told you the track that's playing right now, is around like 9 minutes?
Huh. Interesting.
You will see what I mean when we get to the 25th, to the last episode of this series.
Huh. Is that the one that plays during the eclipse?
Yep.
Huh. I can believe it. Deadeye says Nosferatu Zod did something wrong.
Really now? What did he do this time?
What did he do this time?
Which by the So that was about 3/4 of a chapter, or that we saw at the end of that at the end of the episode.
Hmm.
And the whole thing about me reading the manga as I'm watching the show, is just to kind of draw comparisons to how things are paced.
And it's actually good to have as reference sometimes.
Yep. And it's interesting how the movies actually gave Casca the outfit or the helmet that she wears throughout most of the arc, as opposed to that one time where she wore something different and as a helmet. I'm like, why would you wear something so different if it's just gonna come right off? And the thing about the manga is that while some of the action is a tad more dynamic, like in terms of how things are drawn, it's it's kind of hard to convey that in animation and in the especially in this type of animation.
Yeah.
If this were a bit more loose and fluid, then yes, it would be easier to convey, but not so much. And this arc is a very heavy action heavy arc. So while Griffith and the main force are battling in Boscone and the rest of the army. Yeah, I prefer Griffith's motivational speech in the movie since it's not as redundant.
We're gonna kick some ass. We're gonna take some names. We might even get... I don't know.
Griffith, where were you going with that one?
I don't want to think about it.
You think about a lot of weird things.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's one thing I'm reminded of.
What?
The fact that there was once a time when Mike's interna class was actually he in for doing some Funimation stuff since he was a brief guest star in Full Metal Alchemist '03.
Yeah. What they kind of do sometimes is they'll book an actor for like 2 hours because that's usually the minimum. Then you'll do like 20 minutes of work on a given show,
For
and then
people wonder,
and then
for
you'll
people also,
do like a bunch of other bit roles and other things. That might have been or like guest parts in other shows as well.
two people that are supposed to be talking in this conversation are actually supposed to be at the canon, and like
Hmm.
they were in the movie.
Well, I think you might be getting ambushed. Well, maybe you should have, dodged!
Crossbow bolts come in really quickly. Yeah, this is what happens when you let the vast majority of your army go out and then only keep your guards protecting the castle, because then you get easily ambushed by these guys. Hello, Korbowitz.
Hi, again. Did you not learn your lesson after the last time?
Clearly, he did not.
Indestructible.
My guy, in
We,
this
do you
adaptation,
have
you
any
took
more teeth
2
for us
whole
to...
L's.
Yeah, do you have any more teeth for us to knock out? It's over, Casca, for I have the high ground.
You know, the funny thing
This
is
isn't
that,
Star Wars.
the funny
Having
thing
the
is
high
that
ground isn't
Casca
actually that big of an advantage.
there were a couple comedic facial expressions in this battle.
Hmm. I don't need any quarters.
Casca was
The price
flanked
of
by
a
2 other
the price of a phone
Casca
call has gone up to $1, motherfucker.
Casca was flanked by 2 other guys when confronting Adon on in the manga.
Hmm. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the Harry Potter movies, and then they just have random, needless changes for no adequately explored reason.
I mean, at least they actually changed a number of things that made that even though the battle still ended the same way, they at least is tried to be different with with the Golden Age arc films.
Somebody stop me.
You were saying?
Hmm.
Wow. Wah, wah, wah.
Wow,
Shoulder
wow.
spike.
Wah, wah, wah. Whittly wow. Wow, 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 wow.
It looks a little static, sir. No. Also, Corbelwit, it's it was like, wait, are you telling me you were on your period? She's like, don't shout it. Sup, bitch.
Pippin, where's Mary?
I think Rickard might as well be Mary. It's almost like that horseman is the 100-man slayer. Yeah, when compared to his fight against Zod, this is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, it looks like Zod is also out here. All right, Casca, now stab him in the head while he's down on the ground.
Stabbity, stabbity, stab. Take away his other eye. That
In the
is not...
In the abridgment, Korbowitz tries playing Barry White to try to earn Casca's affection. She's like, God, are you that desperate?
Has it? A little bit, yes. I thought that was just called being a dick.
Korbowitz likes to make up long names for his attacks.
I can tell.
Oh, no!
Oh. Well, that's
Guts'
unfortunate.
sword is broken. So initially in the movie, they wanted to have this happen and in the film. But due to time constraints, they did not put that in.
That's odd.
I know. I mean, granted, I was as intrigued by the solution they came up with.
You keep saying that, and it keeps not turning out well for you. I've become so numb, I can feel you there. And you know what would also be easier if we had a 357 Magnum killing this motherfucker.
The impossible, see the invisible.
Raw, raw, fight the
fight.
power! Raw, raw,
Touch the
fight the
untouchable, break
power!
the unspeakable. Row, fight the
Fight the
power.
power! Omae wa
Yes, this.
mou shinderu.
Yeah, being split in half. His face being split in half was how he died in the manga,
Hmm.
as opposed to him being stabbed through his throat. I feel like the stabbing through the throat was a bit more graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guts is now reduced to using a knife. I'm disappointed.
Disappointed!
All right. Not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
You know, this sword's a little bit small for me. I might have to go get something larger.
Naughty. decapitated both him and his fucking horse.
Decapitation!
Obviously, we can't show the human being decapitated, but we could show the horse. Oh, and yes, Guts cutting off both Boscone and the horse's head was a double-page spread.
Hmm.
Uh, Governor? I think we got fucked over. What are you, dense? Retarded?
Now you have my permission to die! Hip hip! Huzzah! Hip hip! Fuck you! Hip hip! You're a bitch! Hip hip! Do a flip!
Griffith then proceeds to do a flip while all seated on his horse.
And then he lands like a cat.
That's our general there.
Yeah, not for long. Run away! Run away!
That's what happens when the morale is down.
Yes.
Down and their leaders hope, and they know their leader's hopelessly incompetent. Get your hands away from me. You take that night of passion for anything beyond a $500 commission.
But I am going to fuck you using my sharper, smaller penis.
Wait, you have a sharper, smaller one? Well, please do show me.
It's in my hand right now. You can see it.
Wait, that doesn't look phallic shaped. That looks like a sword.
You sure about that? Feminists assure me that swords are a phallus. Or at least
Oh,
a
and you're
stand-in
dead.
thereof.
Oh, and you're dead.
Oh, would you look at that? I only required less than an inch to end your miserable life. Kind of like you did!
And here comes Guts with his gigantic horse cleaver.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
In that case, come on, sweet cheeks. Also, yes, this shot of Zod is also a double page spread. And that'll be it for this session. Well, as soon as this goes by.
Yeah. Oh no, politics. I didn't sign up for that. You keep trying to do that, it keeps not working. Could you maybe stop? No, you haven't. This is not going to work.
Hey, this was supposed to be a men's only club. We
It's all in your hands. Hold on. Hold back, darkness.
So that'll be all
Gotta
for
take
this
a
session of Berserk.
stand.
We will be wrapping things up
It's
this
all
series up on
in your
Sunday. So I hope you look forward to
hands.
that. Until then, tomorrow we got a public domain film in the form of Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah! One of the greatest horror films ever made. Not according to Variety, though. Variety kind of fucking sucks. Variety made this list, by the way. I don't know if you've seen this, Kevin, but Variety made this list of all-time greatest horror movies, top 100. Okay, so the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is number 1. That's fine. Guess where A Nightmare on Elm Street is?
Where?
Not even in the top 10. Guess where The Dream Warriors is?
Where?
Not on the fucking list.
That's retarded.
Guess where Halloween 1 and 2 are?
Where?
They're in like the low 40s, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They're
That's
not in the top 10. Yeah, The Thing was like number 46. They had a bunch of films on there that weren't horror movies. Like they had a
Alright, so
Gaspar Noé film on there.
Next time on Berserk, or
That
next
makes
time on our
glorified
sessions
pornography
of
and not in a
Berserk,
good way.
we will be wrapping up this series.
Yeah. I don't think Dawn of the Dead was on there either. Or at least, Dawn of the Dead, it would have been like low if it was even on there. Or Day of the Dead definitely wasn't on there if I'm not mistaken. But it was fucking lame. They didn't even have Army of Darkness on there.
Alright, so next time when we come back to Berserk, we will be on Moment of Glory.
Nightmare on Elm Street 4, where Freddy comes back via Flaming Dog Pete. There's a reason why we haven't seen Dream Master yet. Dream Master's kinda lame.
Well, anyway,
Or that
we'll
was
see.
that the Dream Child? I don't fucking know. Nightmare 4 is weird.
Anyway, we'll see y'all later for or Night of the Living Dead. So until then, toodaloo.